Ibrahim is a teacher. He teaches English. He loves teaching English. He hopes students enjoy his lessons. Teaches, loves, hopes. If you pay attention to how the S at the end of the verb is pronounced, you will notice that each one is pronounced differently. The pronunciation of the final S varies according to the final sound of the base form. This might sound confusing, but we do this to make speaking easy and smooth. There are three options when it comes to the pronunciation of the third person S. The final S or ES can be pronounced as S, as in hopes, or Z, as in loves, or is, as in teaches. We choose the appropriate pronunciation based on the sound at the end of the verb. Let's look at each case more closely. But before we start, it's very important to understand that the letters of the alphabet do not always represent the same sounds of English. The sound of a letter or sometimes two letters is how you actually say and hear them, regardless of how they're spelled. We use phonetic transcription to refer to the sounds of the letters. Learning the phonetic transcriptions of the letters is very helpful, but I won't get to it in this lesson because it will make the lesson longer, which might affect your focus. Instead, I will just refer to the sounds with letters between slashes. With that being said, let's get started. Let's begin with the S sound. Some verbs end with N voice sounds. Hope. Let's take this verb as an example. The verb hope ends with the P sound. When you put your fingers lightly on your throat and produce the sound P, you feel nothing, no vibrations. That's because the sound P is N-voiced. Your voice box is not vibrating when you're producing the sound. To keep the speaking smooth, we need another N-voice sound. So we add the S sound to hope. This way, you still keep your voice box not vibrating. Hopes. Hopes. Say it a few times. Feel your voice box not vibrating. Hopes. And again, the letters don't matter. It's the sound that you should pay attention to. Let me give you the whole list of N-voice consonant sounds. Now you already know the first one. It's P. The rest is K, T, and F. The F sound is usually represented by the letters GH like in laugh or PH like in photograph. So listen carefully and pay attention to your voice box. It's not about the letters, it's about the sounds. Let's practice. Smoke, smokes. Wait, waits. Laugh, laughs. And now, let's move on to the second option, the Z sound. I've just said that some verbs end with N voice sounds, right? As you may have probably guessed, there are also voice sounds at the end of the verbs. A voice sound is the one which makes your voice box vibrate. Touch your throat again and say the verb love. The sound V is the final sound in this word and it's vibrating, isn't it? Can you feel it? Of course you can. If the verb ends with a voice sound, then you pronounce the final S with a voice sound as well. That is the Z sound. Love, loves, loves. It's vibrating all the time, right? Loves. Now let me give you the list of the other voice sounds. You already know the first one, V. The others are B, D, G, L, M, N, Ng, The, R, W, and Y. Let's practice. Love, loves. Rub, rubs. Find, finds. Belong, belongs. Call, calls. Seem, seems. Run, runs. Sing, sings. Bat, bats. Wear, wears. Know, knows. Try, tries. That was a long list, wasn't it? But let's not forget the option is. Sometimes we have to add a whole new syllable at the end of the verb to make the pronunciation of the third person S easy and smooth. The syllable is. Let's use the verb teach as an example. Let's try to pronounce it with the S sound. Teaches. Cheats. Doesn't work, right? Now let's try with the Z sound. Teaches. 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 Do you notice how you automatically tend to say is at the end? Teaches. That's because teach ends in the ch sound, and the ch sound is a sibilant sound. To pronounce the third person singular properly after a sibilant sound, we need to add another syllable. So we end up with teaches. Teaches is teaches. The list of other sibilant sounds are j, sh, s, and z. Let's practice. Teach, teaches. Judge, judges. Finish, finishes. Miss, misses. Lose, loses. To sum up, let's look at the rules of the pronunciation of the third person S altogether. This is all when it comes to the pronunciation of the third person S. And one more thing, it's a bonus. All these rules apply to plural nouns as well. Good news, right? So when you want to say the plural of rats, you know it's an am voice final sound, so you say rats. Or if you want to say the plural of a friend, you know it's a voiced final sound, so it's going to be friends. And if you want to say the plural of orange, you know orange ends in a sibilant sound, so you say oranges. Thank you very much for watching, and see you in the next lesson.